I'm going to get us started. It's 2 o'clock. So welcome everyone to Healing Movement with Mindfulness and Yoga with Elika. Say it right, Elika. And she is a certified yoga instructor, a birth doula, an educator, wellness coach, and Reiki practitioner. Just a few things under your belt there. And you've been sharing your passion for health and wellness for over 15 years from Atlanta to the Bay Area. She's presented to the staff of the Stanford Business School, LinkedIn, as well as Kaiser Hospital. She incorporates mindfulness and wisdom from various traditions to inspire clients, whether they're healing from surgery, birth, or creating a healthier lifestyle through self-care rituals, which is so important for us in our lives. So I'm just going to go over some group agreements and some housekeeping and things like that, and then we'll turn it over to her. So always respect and kindness are key. We want to make sure that we're creating a safe and respectful place for everyone involved. So, you know, if you're not being respectful or it's a persistent issue, we will ask that you remove yourself, but we figure everybody's here for a good reason, so we haven't had to worry about it yet. Please show tolerance and sensitivity for differences. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, whether cultural, racial, gender, sexual orientation. So please be aware and be sensitive of those things and try not and do your best to use positive language and avoid any kind of slurs, racial or homophobic language. This is a safe space that is free of judgment. It's okay to disagree with other people's points of view, but don't put other people down for their points of view. This is a space where people should feel comfortable to share thoughts and ideas without the worry of punishment or judgment. If you are commenting or share a story, please make sure that you keep anonymity. This is going out live over Facebook. This is being recorded for future use, so we want to protect people's anonymity. So you can say, I know a person who, or something like that, but try and avoid using names. And we usually try and avoid telling other people's stories, but sometimes that's why you're here, is because of somebody in your life and you want to help them. As always, feel free to ask for clarification or ask questions. We have a chat in the Zoom that you can chat to, or if you are on Facebook with us, you can put it in the Facebook message or in the chat there, and Phil will be there to help monitor that and make sure that your question gets lifted up to us here. As we're doing these things, it can bring up some issues for people, so we wanted to make sure that you have access to mental health services and mental health lines. If you do need to speak to somebody, we have the local DONA line through mental health, which is 707-464-7224, or there's a 24-hour crisis line that you can call at 1-888-446-4408, and you can speak to a live person that can help you and speak to you and help you through your issues. Again, everyone is here voluntarily, your participation is voluntary, and we will not read your names out if you do ask questions to help protect your privacy. We want to acknowledge the land that we're on today. And Elika, are you in the Bay Area?
Yes.
No? Okay, so you are on Ohlone lands, correct? And we up here in Del Norte and Humboldt counties are the lands of many indigenous people, including Talowa Deni, Yurok, Hoopa, Karuk, Wiyot, and there's many rancherias such as Elk Valley, Resagini, Big Lagoon, Trinidad, Blue Lake, Table Bluff, and Ronerville. So just a few. We honor the indigenous people who have lived here and cared for this land and each other since time immemorial. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have been the stewards of this land for generations. We know that effects of colonization have impacted indigenous peoples disproportionately, and we hope through this series that we can learn together and help heal and work towards a healthy future. So just at the end, you'll see this slide again, just to let you know how to get a hold of us, how to get a hold of our presenter today at the BlissfulBodiesYoga.com if you want to find out more or get her to do something for you as well. And don't forget to fill out the evaluation at the end, please. It also enters you into a raffle for lovely gifts and prizes, including t-shirts with our art on it. Oh, it's mirrored, so our art on it. and it helps us know how we're doing and what we can do better. So thank you again for joining us. And I am now going to turn it over to our presenter. Thank you.
Okay. I'll just take a little sip here. Thank you so much, Jermaine. I love that. I am a student for life, even though I've been teaching, like all of my teachings, yoga, fitness, birth education, training other teachers. And so I've been doing this for about 15 or 20 years. And since this pandemic and everything is shifting, I'm really grateful to be a student again in so many ways. I'm reconnecting with my teacher who's in Southern California, studying with her. I'm, just diving into new areas and learning. And I learned today about the native people of Humboldt, and I did not know there were so many different tribes first, and then one she mentioned I had not heard of. So I'm in Humboldt a lot of the time, trying to move soon, and my partner's there, so I've been having to go back and forth a little bit to the Bay. But you'll see some pictures in my presentation of Humboldt. I love the land, and I really believe, like, if you're someone that's connected to the land, like, that is such a healing practice, right? Just getting in nature, right? So if you do nothing else, I really encourage you to get in Mother Nature's, bounty and beauty, even if it's just right in your front door, right out front of your door. You don't have to go deep in the woods like, maybe we were doing more 4 months ago. So anyway, I'm really glad to be here with you today. Let's see, should I start? I will start sharing my screen in just a moment. We'll just wait a minute. I'll just introduce myself a little bit more and let you know that I'm super grateful to be here, because not only am I really, really about helping people be well, I really want people to know, like, how amazing they are. And when I decided to call my business Blissful Bodies, like, it was 15 years ago, and a lot of people were like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know what bliss means, really. Like, there was like chocolate, there was like bliss chocolate, and people thought about that. And somebody was like, I think it's too sexual. I'm like, what? And I kind of took a leap of faith by naming it that, because like I said, I had a little bit of resistance. But I have struggled with so many things over my life, right? Injuries, just insecurities, right? Failure, fear of failure, right? The fear of whatever is usually worse than the actual thing sometimes, right? Think about the things that we fear that never materialize. Struggles with addictions also, struggles in relationships, right? And every time something like this happens to us, whether it has to do with our health, our wellness, right, our relationship to pain medication, whatever it is, when anything is creating suffering or struggle, many times we start to believe something is wrong with us. Something is broken. Something is missing. And I'm so excited to offer you some of these teachings. We'll do a little meditation, we'll do a little journaling, we'll do a walking meditation and some movement, very simple, totally, not anything to be worried about or intimidated about. You could even sit in a chair and enjoy some of these things that we'll do. But my hope is that no matter what happens, right, in 2 hours or tomorrow or next week, is that you come, or you have an awareness that you are perfect, that you are whole and complete. And that's what these teachings are getting us to practice, right? Whether you're sitting in meditation, whether you're doing a walking meditation, whether you're doing like a moving, almost a dancing qigong meditation, whether you're doing yoga poses, all of these things are just trying to get us back to what many Native peoples are still teaching and sharing, you know, and they're trying to get us back to knowing that we came to this planet, to this earth, to be great. We came to this planet to shine our greatness, to help each other, to love one another, right? So with all that's going on right now, we're waking up to, you know, maybe some things in the world we want to change, some things in ourselves we want to change, things, you know, injustices, racism, whatever it is, homelessness, right? The disparities of income around the world and in our society, especially in California, right? Then, you know, we want us all to wake up together. We want us all to feel empowered together, right? Not just those people over there are waking up and these people are down here sad and feeling bad. We want to lift each other up together. So yoga is about kind of creating what we want to see here and then taking it out there. You might have heard of Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, who, you know, a lot of yoga teachers and yogis have quoted for many years, because he said something that I think is really real. He says, be the change you wish to see in the world. And that is a big task sometimes, right? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Okay, so I want to talk about a little bit more what yoga says, the yoga philosophy, and then also the Buddhist philosophy, right? And mindfulness is a fusion kind of different modalities, right? It takes from Buddhism, it takes from just like, let's say, just relaxation techniques, just what we call contemplation, right? It kind of fuses different traditions. And it's a way of just creating presence for, you know, some of us that don't want to be associated with any religion, right? So if you don't want to really practice Buddhism in a traditional way, maybe you're, you know, a little bit hesitant to even get into yoga. Mindfulness is like this super safe space, right? It's like neutral ground. It's just about being. And it's like when we feel that we're amazing and we're bright, and even though things aren't perfect, but you know in your core, like I came here to do something big, right? Then it doesn't matter, you know, what you maybe you didn't do, right? What you might have, let's say, I don't want to use the word failed, or what was maybe not as perfect or not as whatever beneficial. You did something that just whatever was not your you know your highest self. And can we honor, right, all the mishaps, the mistakes, the, you know, lack of clarity, lack of wisdom, right? And come back to this place of being right here, right now. And we'll be doing that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you and kind of went over this a little bit. You know, my intro, that's me leaning against trees, which I love to do so much, and hugging trees. Another picture, I think, of me in here. So I will remind you throughout this, connecting with nature is such great medicine to not only balance our nervous system, but also to help us to feel grounded and centered in chaos, right? In confusion, in this body and with these emotions that we might want to change, right? And we're going to just come back many times to being right here. Even though you want to go over there or change this or that, we're going to practice being right here, which is hard, you know, for many of us. So let's go to this next page. Let's see. So here we go. Okay. So just want to make sure you all can see my screen okay? Yes? Yes? Okay. Because I just see myself on the screen. Is that okay? That's fine. Okay. So, what does yoga say about addiction? Well, it says many things. And first, I just want to share this quote with you here, because part of these practices are about, doing something different, doing something that may not always be comfortable, stepping out of your comfort zone. So this is from a meditation group called Against the Stream. And this is from Noah Levine, who's the head of that group. And he says, if you're looking for a quick fix or easy salvation, turn back now. Plug back into the matrix and enjoy your delusional experience. This is a path for rebels, malcontents, and truth seekers. And I really love this because, if you wanted to just live a very humdrum life, a very, normal life with no risk, no, nothing, shaking things up a little bit, then you can just stay in this place and not grow, not evolve. But I've been really loving all the butterflies I've been seeing. I just got back from Humboldt yesterday, and I saw so many butterflies up there, and was just loving nature. And the butterfly goes through a very transformative and not an easy experience, right? To come from that caterpillar to the cocoon state and then back into that butterfly, right? Many of us want to admire the beauty of the butterfly, but we don't want to really celebrate the struggle, the shifts, the discomfort that it took to break out of that little cocoon, right? So this is your choice. Would you like to take this path to explore something different, explore something new? And if you are interested, since you're here, I assume you're interested, it's a really powerful time to do this because we're coming up on a new moon. And new moons are great times to put into practice new things. And maybe you add in a little meditation. Maybe you add in a little yoga. Maybe just doing some of these exercises that we're going to do, journaling, writing, just creating space for reflection. These are all great tools for not only managing, right, desires to use, but also manage stress, which can be, right, a trigger for using, right? So we'll tap into some of these tools and resources. Okay, so the main book or the main text that the yoga philosophy uses to kind of guide us in this philosophy is called the yamas and the niyamas. And they're basically like these guidelines, or I think one of the traditional translations is restriction or observances, excuse me. So they're either observances or like these guidelines, okay? And so you could think of it kind of like the 10 Commandments. There's 10 of them. And these are the three main ones that I felt like you should definitely keep in mind. Ahimsa, this is going back to what Gandhi spoke about, being the change we wish to see, right? So if we don't want to see violence in the world, then how about creating nonviolence for ourselves, in our homes, for our families, right? And that this can go very deep. I don't want to bore you all too much with this, but creating self-love is the opposite of violence, right? And violence can come in just the thoughts that we have, right? I don't know if you have crazy thoughts, but I have crazy thoughts. They're berating, they're critical, they're judgmental, right? They're saying to me, Elika, why did you do that? Why did you say that? Didn't you go back on your word? Aren't you trying to live a healthier life, right? And they're like this. They're like this. Right? And so why would we speak this way to ourselves, but we won't speak this way maybe to our children, to loved ones, right? Especially elders. So can we return that same kindness that we give out to those same people? Can we give that back to ourselves? Right? So that's what Ahimsa is asking us to do. So in regards to the yoga practice, physically, and then also how we treat ourselves, you know, out in the world, how we treat ourselves, and address our emotions and our thoughts. Okay, so the next one is Satya. I love that. You might know someone named Satya. I know several people named Satya. It's a very popular name. I think it's growing in popularity. So Satya is truthfulness. And I really love this because like I was saying before, you know, I'm continually learning. I'm always wanting to be a student. And I will just say this, I'm constantly catching myself not being truthful, right? And I've learned, you know, telling on myself is really a healthy practice. And, you know, there's a saying, if you are in 12 steps, there is a saying that says, we're only as sick as our secrets, right? And that goes for anybody. Right? And like I shared briefly before, you know, I've had struggles with codependency, with addiction, right? How many of us, right, have have, you know, always had healthy relationships to food, right? Coffee has been something that I love, but is not always, it doesn't always love me, right? Like, you drink too much, my stomach feels sick, I feel nervous, I don't sleep well, right? Like, that's not very loving, Elika. So I've learned to not judge myself, not berate myself, and to allow myself to have coffee sometimes, right? Whatever. So sometimes I'll see the contradiction in my life and I'll say, you know, I'm trying to live healthier, I'm doing this and wanting to drink more water. And then a week later, you know, I'm drinking too much coffee, maybe I'm skipping meals, teaching classes, right? Kind of running on fumes. And I say to myself, Elika, right? Did you want to be healthier or did you just say that? Were you really being honest, right? So I have these conversations with myself, and I'm a big fan of talking to yourself. We're going to talk to ourselves in a minute. We're going to create an intention. We're going to set an intention possibly, and maybe speak some affirmations. And, you know, when I was younger, I would drive. I just started driving as a teenager, and I'm looking at people and I'm like, wow, there's some weird people out here. They're talking to themselves. Like, and this is before we had, you know, speaker phones and Bluetooth and all that. And I just thought people were crazy. And then when I got into my 30s and 40s, I started finding the power of the voice, the power of the tongue, the power of emitting this vibration through my vocal cords, and then also lining up my actions with it. But sometimes just speaking it is what is the kind of, which is, it's how should I say, it is igniting. It is the kind of the fuel for that dream, that fire, that vision. Yeah. So how about, right, like finding that within ourselves, right? Finding that place where we can bring in like a little bit of a spark, where we can ignite something and bring that into, you know, whatever we do. So Satya is, you know, asking us, right, can we practice truthfulness and also can we not judge when we're not being so honest, right? When we're not perfect. And so the next thing is brahmacharya, and that has been interpreted many different ways, okay? It was traditionally translated as like celibacy. And then as we've evolved a little and, you know, come into these modern times, it's now more related to moderation. And so that's something too, right? Like many of us have struggled. I've definitely struggled with, you know, eating too much, right? Even codependency with people, right? Too much of a good thing is not always great, right? So we are given these wonderful tools, right? To see, can we show up, show up with our messy selves and walk this path and do it with love. Okay, so let us come to just a moment of loving awareness. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna move back a little bit. And this is, I love this picture. And I am always seeing how can I cultivate a little more love, right? Because sometimes I'm in that place, like I said, with judgment and worry, and it feeds stress and anxiety. And do you know that we can make our own happy, feel-good hormones? And when you take opiates, right, that is this false sense of feeling good. And so, you know, endorphins and dopamine, right, these are hormones we want to flow freely, and chemicals we want to flow freely. But sometimes it's challenging, right? So cultivating love, cultivating ease, simple way to just feel some little bit of feel-good hormones. Okay, so let's start by just being here. You're going to breathe in and out and feel your breath. Feel what it's like right now. Feel the expansion of your rib cage. And then feel it come back. So your rib cage, you want it to feel opening and releasing. Opening and then softening. And just notice the sound of your breath. Coming in, going out. So if you did not know, your pituitary gland is in your midbrain, and this is the gland that secretes these wonderful hormones. Endorphins, also oxytocin. Oxytocin is called the love hormone. And every time we, go after this feeling, we want it even more and more. It's like we get to a place, right? It just, we want it to be greater, right? We're looking for a greater high, a greater feeling of joy, of ease. And then one day, we hit that plateau, we hit that wall. And so feeling we have the ability to make our own feel-good hormones, our own sense of love and ease is a way to create freedom. So let's move in this energy with our hands. Bring your hands to your heart. And then just feel here what I'm kind of referring to, this ability we have to expand our loving energy, and then also find ease and peacefulness. Inhale, open. Exhale, coming back. And feel right now, you are getting high off of your own supply, right? The breath. The breath is often associated with the divine, right? So whether you call that higher power, God, Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama, right? Whatever that is, your breath can be a wonderful doorway to connect you with that. Inhale, open. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, open. Exhale. 3 more. If you're feeling any heaviness, any stress, let's exhale through the mouth. Inhale, open. Exhale. And again, inhale. Exhale. Hold here. And just notice what it's like right now. That is a very common practice in mindfulness. What is it like right now? Inquiring and then not judging. Tuning in to this moment without attachment. And let's inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, you're gonna bring your arms down and then hold that leg that's in front. Okay, if you're in a chair, I'll show you. You'll just be in a chair and you'll hold your knees. Okay, so let me move this back a little bit. And so if you're on the floor like me, we're gonna do some spinal flexion. You can do this either way. So hold the knees. Inhale, you're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your heart, and then exhale, round your spine. Bring your chin to your chest. Okay, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, round. And just feel this simple movement, creating ease. Moving out. Maybe just a little bit of stress, tension in the physical body or the mental body. And I'm a big fan of really celebrating, right, some of these just little wins that we have. If you're here today with me, right, that's a victory, right? And so instead of focusing on what we didn't do or what's too challenging to do right now, how about focusing on what we are doing? Okay, let's stay here, 5 more breaths. How can you honor yourself? Can you thank yourself? And last time. And come back to center. Okay, let's bring our hands in front. You're gonna touch your thumbs. And then you're gonna bring this across your heart. Okay, so just take a few breaths here. And bowing to your heart. Right, I believe it is said in some native traditions, instead of how are you, how about asking, how is your heart? Okay, so we have to slow down to really tune into that. And so just taking a moment here, feeling the breath coming in, going out. The head might say, this is too hard. You are not enough. You are, lacking something. You don't have the strength. But the heart says, oh, no way. The heart says we are limitless. The heart says we are infinite. The heart says that we have the ability to bring love wherever there's fear, wherever there's suffering. We'll take a few more breaths here. And in a moment, we're going to be setting an intention. An intention can be very simple. I want to improve my health. I want to be more present for my family. I want to have more peace. I want to live with more abundance, more clarity. And go ahead and release your hands down. Okay, so since we've enjoyed this picture quite enough, I will now come to just quickly pass through this. This is called the Eightfold Path. And this shows just some guidelines from the Buddhist tradition, similar to the yogic tradition of the yamas and the niyamas that I shared. And this is ways to live with greater health, well-being, greater peace, right? So right view, right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And so I really would like to focus just on this one, similar to the ahimsa, right action. So acting in ways that do not cause harm, such as not taking life, not stealing, and then also, of course, right effort, endeavoring to give rise to skillful thoughts, words, and deeds, and renouncing unskillful ones, right? So things that don't improve our health, don't create more mindfulness and clarity, right? Like number 7, right mindfulness, right? Being mindful of our own bodies, feelings, our mind and mental qualities. So anything that goes against these is not right effort, right? So we can maybe set an intention to cultivate one of these things, okay? So we're gonna be writing down our intention in just a moment. And let me just come to this one. Okay, so what brings you freedom? And if you can see this fully, mindfulness can guide you to greater liberation. And so it says, let's enjoy, or let's explore that here. Okay, so let's go ahead and come to standing, and then we'll come back down and write. Okay. This is on the Eel River here. Some of you might recognize that. So we're gonna stand up and just move our bodies a little bit. Okay, so standing tall, have your feet really grounded in the earth. Have your arms by your side. Let me just move this up a little bit here. That's better. Okay, so your feet are grounded and rooted. Your arms are by your side. And just feel the earth beneath you. Okay, sorry, let me take this up. Okay, so hopefully you all can see me. So standing with your feet in a grounded way. And just feel the earth beneath you. And this is called mountain pose. Okay, so I want you to feel strength, confidence, and the energy of being rooted right here, right now. And just breathe in and out with that quality, standing strong like a mountain. Okay, I hope everyone can see me here. Jermaine, can they see me still? Yes, So now we're going to move mindfully with our hands to feel what is naturally within you. Just turn your palms face up. Feel your ability to receive. Okay, so you might have thought about your intention. What would you like to receive? What would you like to cultivate? Just breathe here and notice what comes to your mind. Could be just a word. Ease, peace, abundance, love, freedom, and then let's feel our ability to rise, right? Sometimes we feel stuck because we don't have everything we need. So take your hands up, stretch up, feel your ability to rise up out of anything. And then on exhale, turn your palms down and then come down. Feel this ability to be rooted and grounded in the present. Again, take your hands up, lift up. Feel that upward lifting energy of victory, of strength, of being strong and grounded like the mountain. And then exhale, turn your palms down and come down, maybe honoring the earth in some way. Again, inhale, take it up. Feel your ability to rise, to find strength again, right? After challenges or periods of suffering. Okay, then bring your hands down. Feel your presence, your sense of ease. Okay, so keep that going. So I'm going to turn this up and I'm going to be quiet and just let you move with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, coming down. Feel like a wave moving through your body. One of my favorite quotes, one of my favorite people is Bruce Lee. And he says, be like water, my friend. Right? Water is fluid. Water moves. It changes. It's cooling. It's liberating. Can we find a little bit of that in just this simple movement? Inhale, rise. Exhale. Can we shift our movement now? Inhale it up. And then take your feet wide. Bring your arms down. We're going to just move it to the right. And move it to the left. Again. I'll move a little closer. Move it to the right. And then let's move it to the left. Moving to the right. And then moving to the left. Good. Being like water. A few more times here. Let's move this. There we go. Okay. Moving to the right. And moving to the left. A few more times, moving with your breath. Feel like your ability to create change and be flexible and not harden and collapse because things are hard, right? If you come back to what I was talking about at the beginning, knowing that you are perfect, knowing that we have a right to be here, knowing that whatever we did or didn't do, it does not have to affect who we are, right? And it doesn't have to determine our future. Right? So feel your ability to change. your ability to transform. Connected to your heart, connected to your breath, connected to your sense of self and your highest self. Good. A few more times. If you've ever done Qigong, similar movements. Inhale. And if you're in the chair, you could do this also. Just not while you're driving. A few more. Inhale. Exhale. And come back to center. Bring your hands to prayer. Good. Just bow to yourself. Your feet come together. And just breathe for a moment. Notice what you observe in your body. Notice what you observe in your mind. And then we'll come back and have a seat. All right, so if you'd like to write a little bit, get a pen or something to write with. And you could also just, meditate on it. Okay, so I talked about intention and yoga and I won't say Buddhism. I guess, yes, they do set intention. So we call it sankalpa. There's also this idea of a dedication. So it can be intending to kind of manifest something, create something, but there also is this practice of dedicating our efforts to something bigger, right? So there's two ways to look at it, but either way, this is a way to bring in this mindful connection, right? So we're not just here to, move around and do like exercise or gymnastics. We're like really about healing. We're really about getting connected to who we are, right? Because so many of us came up not connected to who we are, right? I definitely felt that growing up in San Jose, California with, just very misguided, not rooted. It took me, I was a little bit of a late bloomer, went to college late, everything a little later, and it took me, real self-inquiry, self-discovery to find the truth of who I am, right? And what I want to bring into the world. Okay, so your intention is a powerful way for you to not only identify like your desires, your goals, but also feel the power in it, okay? Because we're gonna affirm this. We're gonna make it true. We're gonna make it like it's happening right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to sharing the screen. So we'll go back to walking meditation, but this question here, what brings you freedom? I want you to write on that. And then I'm gonna go here to our intention setting. Okay, so take a few moments and just write down, what brings you freedom? Okay, just take 1 minute. So I hope you have written down some things here, and I really love what a Buddhist monk named Thich Nhat Hanh has to say about ways to cultivate freedom. One thing he says is you can walk in a way that creates freedom. And then I love this one the best. He says you can also brush your teeth in a way that cultivates freedom. But what he was basically saying is that anything we do consistently, with attention in the present, without judgment, and in some kind of loving way, cultivating a little bit of loving kindness, this is a way we can have freedom. And I just thought about how some days I'm brushing my teeth and thinking, you know, crazy thoughts, like, yeah, ruminating over the day before, criticizing, looking at these worst case scenarios, creating all this fear, guilt, right? All these things coming up. And there's no freedom in brushing my teeth. But how about if you brushed your teeth like, wow, what a beautiful mouth of teeth I have. What a blessing I have a toothbrush, right? I have toothpaste today. Oh my goodness. And how about if you have great floss, right? My partner loves really good quality floss. I forgot what it's made out of, but he's really a stickler and does not want any waxy floss. He will not use it. So if you go to the natural stores, you can get some great floss, little expensive, but your teeth will maybe appreciate it and feel, you know, a little bit more freedom in your mouth. So we are going to do walking meditation and explore that. And I'd like you to sit again before we write and feel what is your highest intention. All right, so you found what creates freedom. You wrote down what things create freedom for you or help you to enjoy freedom. And just breathe in and out. Feeling what is your intention. And hopefully your intention helps to bring you freedom in some way. So I'll give you an example. I always feel like I don't have enough time. And I'm teaching a lot, new things are coming into my life, and moving, as I said, and just a lot, family stuff, friend stuff. And sometimes I feel like I don't have enough time. So I'm always saying, I don't have enough time. I can't do this, I can't do that. And so I want to affirm, I have an abundance of time to do the things that matter, okay? I have an abundance of time to do the things that matter. So that could be a way that I create an intention, right? Because let's say I'm doing meditation or I'm doing yoga to feel this amazing present moment awareness. And when we are cultivating presence, right, we're not concerned about time so much. And there's this idea that we actually get more time, right? When we're living in the present, like time shows up in miraculous places. It's true. When I stopped doing my yoga practice regularly and I was doing more work in the corporate world, I found my time was so limited. So once I started bringing in yoga regularly, it felt like everything opened up. My schedule opened up, my mind was more clear, and I was less pulled by all these different distractions and things that were actually taking my time. Okay, so I'd like you to write down your intention for maybe this new journey that you're on, right? Maybe you're coming back here for the 108th time. And 108 is a very auspicious number. If anybody is into yoga, meditation, and you might see that number referenced. And so let's feel that this is an auspicious moment, okay? So maybe you've broken your vow to yourself many times, but I want you to feel that right now you're starting something new, okay? So write down what you want to intend through mindfulness, through whatever it is. Practices of self-care, which we'll go into more in a moment. So feel your intention. I'll just take another minute here. And it's really powerful to make it a true statement, okay? You can say, I am blank, or I have blank, or I trust blank. Okay, so finishing up. All right, and yes, I want you to speak this out loud, okay? We'll say it together 3 times. And I will repeat my phrase that I said. Let's see if I remember. Yes, I have an abundance of time to take care of the things that matter. Okay? Say your intention 3 times. I have an abundance of time to take care of the things that matter. I have an abundance of time to take care of the things that matter. Okay. So another wonderful mantra that I use is just being here now. Right? Some days I want to be distracted, or I allow myself to be distracted. Some days, right, being present is easy. So something a teacher once shared with me, and they said, now is delicious, or now is amazing, however you say it. If you don't use the word delicious too much, I understand. But you can make it however you like. Now is amazing. Now is freaking awesome, right? And so I like to use this with my clients. So as a doula, as a birth coach, you know, I have to help mothers and families get ready to do something that is the scariest thing in the world for some of them, right? So I have to teach them these affirmations. And we do these regularly, and I encourage them to fake it till you feel it, okay? Instead of fake it till you make it. I don't like that. How about fake it till you feel it? Really feel it in your soul. You feel like, I am so amazing. I feel that whatever I do is not a reflection on my inner being, right? I am not broken. I'm not defective. If you've had a baby, you might remember or notice, you know, there was this idea that's encouraged or promoted in the medical system sometime, that women's bodies are defective and they need help in labor. They need drugs. They need intervention. And something that is super amazing, and hopefully it inspires you, whether you have children or not. So in labor, you know, a woman's body emits all these hormones. And do you know that birth can be a blissful experience and birth can be an ecstatic experience? And we don't always hear about that, right? And so what has been done to manage labor, make it move quicker, you know, help the baby move out and progress, you know, in a faster way, usually. Sometimes, of course, there's medical intervention that's necessary, but sometimes it is just managed for other reasons that are not necessary. So what happens is they give drugs and they block the flow of that woman's natural hormones. So a woman is emitting these same hormones I mentioned to you earlier, right? Endorphins, oxytocin, dopamine, right? All these things that we want more of. So we get artificial sources, right? Just like in the hospital, they give you what's called, how am I forgetting it? So oxytocin comes in a synthetic form called Pitocin. I haven't been to a birth in a while, so I forgot the word. Yes, Pitocin is the fake form of your own natural hormone that actually opens up the body and helps the baby to move quicker. So we can make this through, how can we make some of these hormones? Do you know? Yoga is one, and we'll do a little bit more in a moment. Breathing mindfully is another. Laughter is medicine, truly. What's the next one? Having sex, right? Even just snuggling, like the pets here, right? Snuggling your furry friends, if you don't have a partner around or a family member to hug. Hugging ourselves is a wonderful thing to do, right? Creating love from the inside so that radiates out. Okay, so I'll just share this other quote here with you, which is from the Buddha, and it says, we could search the whole world and never find another being more worthy that should be of love than ourselves. Sorry. Cannot find another being more worthy of love than ourselves. Yes, isn't that great to know? So that brings us to more talks on love and compassion. Okay, and then we'll do our walking meditation. So this word here, metta, is one of my favorites. It's loving kindness. And it could be just equated to love. Could be also equated to compassion. They're all synonyms. And then self-love goes back to that word ahimsa that I shared, which is part of that, philosophy of yoga, right? Nonviolence, truthfulness, and moderation. So I feel like this is the key to everything. This is the key to the world suffering, right? If the whole world, what if the government demanded that everybody sat each day for this practice of sending loving thoughts out? Can you imagine what would happen? I can't even imagine. If this was a mandated, you know, federal mandate order, everyone must sit every day for 5 minutes. And there's, I believe, a Zen saying or Zen proverb, and it says, if you say you don't have 5 minutes to meditate, then you should meditate for 20. Right? And that just cracks me up because it goes back to that idea I was saying about time. I really believe the universe is watching. So if I continually say, I don't have time, then that's what's going to happen. But if I get up in the morning and move my body and breathe deeply and sit mindfully, that's saying I have plenty of time. And I want to give thanks for this new day, that I have breath, I have food on the table, I have a toothbrush and great floss. I want to be thankful for that day. And then things open out. Things open up in response to that. Okay, so we're gonna do a little metta meditation. And I'm gonna move back here a little bit. And so just so we can sit up taller, I'm just gonna do some neck rolls. Drop your chin down. And then you're just gonna inhale, roll the head to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Couple more times. Come back to center. And lift your head. Okay. So we're going to just feel these words inside, and you repeat them to yourself. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I live with joy, ease, and well-being. May I be healthy and strong in my body. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be safe and protected. May I live with joy, ease, and well-being. May I be healthy and strong in my body. And just take a moment and sit with that. Can you sit as if you are surrounded, enveloped in this energy of that which you just spoke? If you are enveloped in love, then you are also enveloped in freedom. You are also surrounded by ease. So just feel what it's like being here, not needing to change anything, not needing to get anything. What is it like? Does it have a feeling? Does it have a color to it? Does it have a smell? Does it have a quality that you can see? A color associated with it? What is the feeling tone? If you drift off into a story, some worry or doubt creeps in, that's okay. Let's just bring it back. See yourself enveloped in love, in ease, loving kindness. The color pink is a healing color. The color green is associated with the heart. The color yellow or orange, gold, any of those tones is associated with your navel and your sense of power, your sense of being disciplined with loving kindness that emanates from our core, from our abdominals, our solar plexus. So just take another minute to breathe in and out with one of those colors that you most resonate with. Imagine that you are in this protective, loving space and this color emanating all around you. Green for the heart energy, pink for healing, gold, yellow for power with loving kindness, power with clarity, with wisdom. Okay, so now we'll transition. Come back up to standing. We'll do our walking meditation. And first we're going to continue to move in that energy that we were sitting with. Okay, so let's go ahead and stand up. Take that color with you. And we're going to walk in a way that cultivates freedom. Okay, so Thich Nhat Hanh, as I was saying, he said, when we did this walking meditation, he said, every step you take, you are walking closer to freedom. And the reason why is because we're walking slow. We're not in a hurry. Okay, so I'd love for you to walk in a way that's slower than you'd like. And you could just walk back and forth. You don't have to go far. I'm just gonna walk in a circle. And feel your feet touching the ground. Feel the transfer of your weight. Feel your spine lifting up tall. Each step, like you're stepping in peace, stepping in love, or stepping with love. And also stepping in a way that respects Mother Earth, right? We can practice this. More fun if we're out in nature. And just notice what it feels like to not be in a hurry, to keep the heart open, to stay tall, even when things want to pull us down, even when things look very bleak and ominous, even when, as I said, we've broken our vow 108 times. So walk in a way that cultivates freedom. Can you feel your breath moving with each step? And now just make your way back to your place. And then we're just going to do a warrior pose here. So you all can connect with this warrior energy. that you might need to move through some challenges, to maybe reconnect to your vow, your intention, right? So you're going to take your legs wide here. Do this. Okay, so take your legs wide. And then let me turn my mat. Okay, so your legs are going to go wide. You're going to turn your right toes out and your left toes turn in. If you're in a chair, just do the arms. Okay, and we're going to hold here, focusing at your right hand. And then just feel your strength as you breathe in and breathe out. If this hurts your knees, just straighten the leg a little bit. Okay, breathe in and breathe out. Feel that you are embodying this energy, what we call bodhicitta, and that is the warrior of the heart. Okay, so when we are coming from a place of self-love, compassion, loving kindness, it is easy, maybe not easy, it's easier to move with this energy of the warrior, right? We feel resilient. We feel encouraged. We feel that love can transmute fear. So hold here, 3 more deep breaths. And 2. And 1. And now stretch your arms and stretch your leg. Reach up. Good. And then exhale. Lower your arms down. Let's go to the other side. Okay, so turn your toes to the left now. And then bend that knee either over the ankle or you can straighten it a little bit. Bring your arms out and then focus at the left hand. And feel the breath coming in and going out. Breath flowing in, breath flowing out. And feel the courage you have each day, right? Just getting up some days is a courageous act. And taking care of ourselves is a courageous act. Practicing loving kindness is a courageous and revolutionary act, possibly. Take 4 more deep breaths. And 3. And 2. And 1. And straighten that leg, reach up, lengthen, and exhale, bring your arms down. Okay, turn your toes forward and step your feet just a little closer together. Okay, now you're gonna make fist and then let your arms flop around your body. Be careful with your knees, okay? You can pick up the heel as you do this, or you can just kind of stay with the feet flat, but bend the knees either way. And this is great for your kidneys to activate the kidney meridian, bringing in more vitality, and it also feels like fun, hopefully. Feels like liberation, right? So many times we're seeking liberation outside of ourselves. And yoga and meditation, all these tools are getting us to see that liberation is here, right? But it takes some work, right? It's that revolutionary path that I read, that quote from Against the Stream was talking about, right? It takes guts. It takes fearlessness. It is not the easy path. So honor yourself if you've begun on this path, right? Honor yourself, celebrate yourself. Feel a little sense of freedom right here, right now. This is also great for your digestion and the health of your spine. Okay, slowing you down. And then just come back and shake. Shake your hands, shake out any stress in your hands, your wrist. And then let's shake out that right leg. If you like, shake it. If you're in a chair, just rotating your knee or your ankle. But if you can, shake it out. Shake, shake. And then let's go to the other side, shaking. Good. And then just inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. And then on exhale, you're going to stretch your arms out, radiate out, take your feet a little bit wider. And I want you to feel that energy I was saying yoga's always bringing you back to. It's this shiny place. What do you feel like right here? This is a 5-pointed star. If you have children, they might show you this once in a while. I see kids very much identify with this. So feel your 5-pointed star shining in all directions. Come to the right side, gently opening your side body. Inhale, center. Shine your light over this way. And shine it over this way. Good. A few more times. Think about shining your light out wherever it needs to go. To your family, your loved ones, yourself, your community, the world. Maybe you have some gifts, some talents that are about to get freed up with this greater sense of liberation. So you can shine in the world unapologetically, right? Last time. And stretch your arms out, radiate, deep breaths. And then on exhale, you're gonna bend your knees and give yourself a big hug. Curl into yourself. Give yourself a big bear hug. I'm a big fan of hugging ourselves. Okay, inhale, open, expand, radiate out. Exhale, all the love you give out, bring it back to yourself. Inhale, radiate out, extend from your heart and from that strength at your core. Exhale, bring it back, hugging in, loving on yourself unconditionally. 3 more times. This is called breath of joy. I love this. Last time, big breath. Exhale, hugging in. Okay, reach it out and lower arms down. Okay, let's step the feet together and then let's come on back down to the ground. Okay. I guess there's no questions, right? If there are questions, Jermaine, would you tell me? Please send me a chat if there are. Okay, no, okay, thank you. Great, so back to screen share. Oops, not that one. There we go, okay. So you could Google Metta if you're interested in doing a longer meditation practice. Go on YouTube, tons of videos, or even just look up loving kindness. There's a great teacher, Sylvia, I'm forgetting her name right now. It'll come back to me. But she's a very well-known teacher and her name is blanking on me. So Pema Chodron is someone else, has a lot of videos. John Kabat-Zinn, he should have a few also. But it's a very powerful practice, Metta is, and it's this way to send out loving kindness in a simple way. And it really has brought healing for me. It has gotten me through so many challenging times in my life. And I am so grateful for Metta. And so I use this anytime. I use it in my car. I use it while I'm walking. You don't have to be seated to do Metta. You can do it anywhere, anytime, okay? So so we did our walking in freedom. Hopefully you'll think about that when you are walking around, maybe slowing down when you can, right? Feeling your footsteps, feeling each step is moving you closer to freedom. Yeah. So I kind of went over this one earlier, just about our ability to make our own natural feel good hormones and chemicals in our body. We have it within us, right? And I know we want a quick fix many times. We want like that easy route. And if you missed this slide, I want to go back. If anybody didn't see it, this is my favorite. And it comes back to that idea of cultivating truthfulness that I mentioned. Okay, this is from Against the Stream. They're a meditation group with an edge. I love them. They've got, you know, lots of rebels in there, and they're very much also connected to recovery. Many of them are in recovery, if not all of them, but I think most of them are. And they started in Santa Cruz, California, and now they're based in Southern California. So lots of wisdom from them. If you're grew up punk rock, or, you know, had just more of that radical, like revolutionary kind of energy, you might really identify with this. And also the story of the Buddha. There's a movie called Siddhartha, I believe is the story of the Buddha. And he has a revolutionary story of how he left his family, I believe very young, in his 20s. He left his family to go out to find, you know, like the truth, the meaning of life. He wanted to find the meaning of happiness. He was like, this isn't it. Family, kids, this isn't it. That bothers me a little bit, but we don't know the facts, you know, exactly. But because some people say there's not a full story behind that. But basically, he wanted to find the meaning of life, and he wanted to be like a monk. So he went out on this path, and he found basically what Against the Stream is saying, right? It's not a quick fix. It is for people who really want to show up and be honest, and also let go of, you know, trying to fix and change and control so much. Being in that place of fluidity, as I was sharing, when we were moving like water, right? So seeing where we can find this space to give ourselves a break, give others a break. Okay, so let me go back here. And so finishing with some tips for self-care and for you to cultivate your own inner resources so you can live and feel just a little sense of freedom, right? And, you know, and I know me sharing, right, my struggles with coffee and sugar, things like that, you may not feel like that relates to where you're at all. I know it's totally different. I'm not by any means saying, you know, I've struggled in the same way that opiate addicts could, right? I know that is one of the most challenging things, right? They said, I believe that one year, I believe it was 2018 or 17, there was like 70,000 or 67,000 fatalities from overdose, and almost 70% were opioids. And that breaks my heart, really does. My good friend, you know, recently lost her child to an overdose. And, you know, I've known too many that have struggled. Thankfully, I know a lot who've won the battle, and then I also know some that haven't, right? And so I really want to encourage folks to like not give up hope, right? And so, like I said, I celebrate small wins. And it would be great if you can also adopt this, celebrating the small wins. And so it might be nice if we could, you know, go get a massage. I don't think anybody's getting massages right now. I would love to get my nails done. Not happening. So, right? And many times we may not have the time, the resources, you know, to go get pampered, right? But I want you to know that self-care does not have to cost you anything. Self-care, and also as this quote says here, is not self-indulgent, right? If you're a parent especially, and when you are healing, right, an addictive pattern or habit, right, you want to feel like you're able to nurture yourself, right? Because if you're giving or you're having struggles, all of that is effort. It is effort and it creates stress. So I love this quote from Audre Lorde that I'm sharing here on the screen. And Audre Lorde is a writer, and you know, she wrote this for a very different time. I believe it was like late 80s, early 90s, and she's a feminist and a queer feminist, and right, she's a writer also. And so for her to speak out at this time and talk about self-care, and she's also a Black woman, right, in America, right, this was super revolutionary. And as she says here, it's an act of political warfare, and it can be, right? So I also look at, you know, the other population I work with is mothers and families, right? And I hear from mothers that they don't feel like they deserve, right? Whatever, pedicure, they don't deserve time with their girlfriends. They don't deserve just a day to themselves. Like, make their partner watch the child for 5 hours or 6 hours? No way. I could never, right? And maybe you're, you know, in a job that's demanding. Maybe you're, you know, parenting a single parent, wherever your mother or father, or however you identify. And any of these things, right, are putting such large demands on you. And I want to remind you here, right, that you deserve to be cared for, right? Whether you're giving that care to yourself or you're receiving it. And so I'm just going to show you something super simple. We did this before. You're going to bring your thumbs together, put your hands to your heart, and then you're just going to massage your heart. And we're going to imagine that from this place of the heart, which is limitless, this connects to, you know, our vast wisdom. We can transmute pain, suffering, fear, right? So just kind of massaging the heart a little bit, and then you can just rest your hands. And then we're going to think about bringing in a little sweetness. Okay, so this could be your simple self-care practice. Usually you would massage your body if you have oils, and if you are into self-massage. It's a wonderful practice called Ayurveda. I recommend it for all my clients, all my students. And so, you know, we're just doing a very modified variation here, but take time to, you know, really nourish your body when you can. So we're going to bring in the humming bee's breath. And that is a way to first bring more balancing and clarity to both hemispheres of our brain. But it's also a way to bring in sweetness. We can imagine we're like the honey bee, right? And we're bringing this sweetness in our heart where there might be bitterness, right? Anger, fear. So let's just do this 3 times. And you're just going to take a big inhale. And it sounds like this. Okay, so you want to lengthen your breath all the way out, and you're just saying the M sound. And think about pulling your belly in on that exhale. Okay, take a big breath. Inhale. And one more. And release your hands down. Okay, so come back here. So here are the questions. I'm just going to have you write for just about 2 minutes and write these down if you want to write more later. If you aren't someone who journals or writes, I highly recommend it. It is a really wonderful tool for working with, desires to use, cravings, also with the things that bring up, right, those desires to use, right, like stress, right? So stress might be your trigger for wanting to use, right? Guilt, anger, insecurities, right? Even joy, right? Joy can make you want to use, of course, right? It doesn't have to be all the bad things. Boredom, right? Frustration, hurt, helplessness, all these things, right? So journaling helps you to process it. Journaling helps you to see the truth so we can live more authentically, right? If one of your intentions or your intention was to live more truthfully, to live in a way that helps me to love my children or my parents or my, siblings, whatever, then am I showing up authentically? And, right, sometimes we don't see it. Moving in the world, working, handling the day-to-day task. So we need time for reflection. And maybe you don't continue to meditate. Maybe you don't do any of these practices again, but maybe you write down something, right, that helps to give you clarity, helps to give you faith, hope, whatever it is. Okay, so let's just take a couple minutes here and you're gonna write, what self-care practices do you do regularly? Okay, taking a bath, even going on a walk by yourself, right? If you have children or pets, taking a walk by yourself might feel like a little vacation. Whatever that is. Going fishing, going on a run, going on a hike, taking a nap in the middle of the day. Is that self-indulgent? No, it's self-preservation, right? So go ahead and write down. You could also write, what would you like to do more? And does it feel self-indulgent to take care of yourself? It's finishing up, and if you don't have time to finish, please write these questions down and do them when you can. So go ahead and put your pen down, and then I want you to come back to that place of basking in this loving energy, basking in sweetness, basking in this feeling of being really content in this moment. Again, what does it look like to you? What colors are associated with this energy? Just letting the breath flow in and out with ease. Feel the joy in letting go for a moment. All of the external things that we want to change or experience. Feel what it's like to rest in this body, resting in this mind, and feeling this connection we call body-mind union, body-mind awareness. And it might be really hard to sit. Your body might say, get me out of here. And that's okay. When we release stress, when we create these changes in our body's gonna protest. Our mind is gonna protest, right? The hips might hurt, the spine might collapse. And we do our best. And that's all we can do today. So, just observing moment by moment. What is it like? Where do you feel that emanation of kindness, of compassion? If it's not present that much, it's okay. Maybe not today. And if you need to, just rest your attention in your heart. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, your belly. And even if it feels hard to be here, can you acknowledge that I am present, I am aware, I am here. I am present, I am aware, I am here. And just feel the next 5 breaths. Feel the gift of life moving within you, celebrating it, honoring it. So as you continue to sit, I'll just share a quote from Pema Chodron, another Buddhist monk who has great books and wonderful teachings. But she says, compassion is threatening to the ego. We might think of it as something warm and soothing, but actually it's very raw. When we set out to support other beings, when we go so far as to stand in their shoes, when we aspire to never close down to anyone, we quickly find ourselves in the uncomfortable territory of life, not on my terms. The commitment traditionally known as the word I mentioned before, bodhicitta vow, or the warrior vow. This challenges us to dive into these non-cozy waters and swim out beyond our comfort zone. We vow to move consciously into the pain of the world in order to help alleviate it. It is, in essence, a vow to take care of one another and also ourselves, even if it sometimes means not liking exactly how that feels. So, I will lead you with a mantra that affirms our ability to be compassionate with ourselves, with others, with all of life, even with your pets and your children who we might lose patience with. I have a new puppy, 2 months old. Losing patience some days is normal. And I have to keep coming back to being compassionate with myself, with this 2-month-old that doesn't know better. So let's just bring our hands to our heart and let's bow to ourselves. Breathe in and out with this awareness that we are perfect. And even if we are working on changes and we're going through transition, right? We can still hold this vision of ourselves in our highest self, which is perfect, whole, and complete, right? Even as we're making changes, even as we want to, grow and evolve. But that idea just helps us to always give ourselves love, right? Even when we're frustrated with ourselves, even when we're uncomfortable, even when we're angry. So bow to yourself. Feel that quieting of your frontal brain and that awareness, that vast space of love, unconditional kindness within the heart. And I'll leave you with this mantra. It is in Sanskrit, aham prema. Aham prema. A-H-A-M and P-R-E-M-A. It means I am love. My essence is love. So if you'd like to say this with me 3 times, we'll just say the English version. I am love. My essence is love. Right? So that means whatever comes later or comes tomorrow, we can respond from a loving place. Okay, let's say that 2 more times. I am love. My essence is love. I am love. My essence is love. Taking a big inhale and exhale through your mouth. Stretch your arms up, big breath. And exhale, shake it out. Shaking out your hands, shaking it out. Let's roll the shoulders. Rolling off anything that doesn't feel like love, doesn't feel like kindness, right? So when we release these things that create constriction and tension and stress, we have more space for those things that really nurture us and nourish us and help us to feel a sense of victory and peace and contentment in our lives. So we're going to end with this gesture right here. It's called the Victory Mudra. And I'm going to put it on the screen. Let's see. We're going to do this together. Ooh, share my screen. Here we go. The Victory Mudra. This is me somewhere in Mendocino. And we're going to affirm victory together. Okay, so you're going to bring your hands over your crown like I'm doing in this picture. And this is called Jaya Mudra. Okay, so you're going to take a big inhale. And then on exhale, just open your arms out to the side like this. This is the victory, or this is called a Prana Mudra. This is our gesture to symbolize our fullness, our strength, our vastness. Do that again with your breath. Inhale here. Exhale. Open. Again, inhale. Feel the victory. This is the Victory Mudra. Exhale. Feel the fullness. Feel your vitality. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, bring your hands to your heart. And we'll bow to ourselves. We finish yoga classes with the words Namaste. And that means that the divine in me, or the light in me, honors the light in you. Okay, so let's bow to ourselves, honoring ourselves. Namaste. Also reconnecting with our divinity and our highest self. So thank you for joining me today and supporting this wonderful program and Wellness Wednesdays. I'm so grateful to have been a part of it.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. I was having to multitask just a little bit, but I was able to participate in some of it, and it was really good. And I wrote down the questions. I plan on doing some intention setting later. And I love that Audre Lorde quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. And as a community organizer, it's such an important thing. And, you know, really when you're doing any work where you're giving so much, even for yourself or working on yourself so much, it's so important to remember to heal yourself and to always refill that vessel, right? So these are good practices for that. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and it's always a good reminder that these are simple movements and simple things that we can do and that we can take our time. You can if you're at work, you can shut an office door, or you can do it on a break, or, you know, these are things to really help you and that you can practice no matter where you are. You don't have to go to a class necessarily, right?
And just like 1 minute of breathing, 1 minute of walking a little slower, you know, 5 minutes of that humming breath, that inhale, exhale with the It also is good for calming babies. So if you have a small child around and they're really fussy, try that. Nice long breath, because it's balancing your nervous system, and then that child is going to also feel that, because being a new parent is stressful, right? And just telling the baby to shh, 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 they're like, no, I got some things I need to let out. So that humming breath helps for you both to kind of synchronize your energy, and it can just help you to get through, you know, some feelings of discomfort or stress or whatever. It also helps with sleeping.
Good to know. I am not an easy sleeper, so I will try that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, again, thank you so much. And if you want to reach Elika, thank you. I always want to say it wrong. You can right here at her website, BlissfulBodiesYoga.com. And I want to thank you again for being here with us. We really appreciate it. And these are some of those techniques that we want to make sure people understand and are a part of to help in that healing and recovery process. So awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just a reminder to everybody out there, please remember to do those evaluations. They are so important for us to be able to know how we're doing. Even if you're watching this later via Facebook video or YouTube video, still do that evaluation. Up until July 30th, we have, you're still eligible for that raffle prize. So get those evals in and check out her website. I've been there. It was awesome. Lots of good tools, techniques, and information. So please, and join us again tomorrow, Thursday, tomorrow morning. We are having Tim Connell with the United Indian Health Service. He's the pharmacy director over there, talking about what is pain, really helping people understand what pain is and some non-opioid ways to manage pain as well from a pharmacy point of view. So we have movement and breath, and we also have, which is the more eastern side, we have the more western side with the pharmacist tomorrow. So balancing it all out for everybody.
Oh, I love it. I love that you all are also trying to reduce stigma, against that. And I think, like that idea of truthfulness, we have to honor what's true for us, right? So someone else might have been able to quit opioids with, in natural ways, and some have to use, some pharmaceutical drugs. And I think it's really good to honor your experience and honor what you need, right? Depending on your age, your circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has different needs. And we want to make sure that we're really helping people understand that those who are suffering from opioid use disorder, those who have family members, and just the general population, so that people can really understand that this is a complicated thing, but it's also, it's a disease that needs to be addressed, as a disease.
Definitely.
Well, thank you again so much, and we hope to see everybody tomorrow morning, and have a great day, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.